Okay, hi. Today we're talking to Hidai Degani about his family business, and we're putting a business spotlight on it there, and we're gonna have a chat with him. So over to you, Hidai. Maybe you can tell us just introduce yourself and your company, and kind of how you got to here, if you like. Yeah.
All right. So hi, my name is Hidai, and thanks Kevin for the introduction. Originally from Israel, that strange name is an Israeli name. It's in the Bible, buried somewhere. I'm from Israel originally, but I left Israel 12 years ago. Did 5 relocations in Gibraltar, London, Berlin, Malta, and then lovely Ireland. First to Galway, was too rainy. Moved to Dublin, based in Dunleary currently. All this moving around was lots of different industries and roles and companies in different sizes. When I came to Ireland, I fell in love. My wife and I, which is my partner, fell in love with the place, decided to stay actually here. Also saw business opportunities, which is good to have. And decided to leave my full-time work and actually started my own journey of business entrepreneurship. My wife was always self-employed, and we joined forces to actually open our own consultancy business here in Ireland, supporting Irish companies and of course globally, trying to bring experience from what we have seen or in different places and support the amazing people that we have here to achieve success in mainly around digital, anything around digital, websites, Facebook, Google Ads, LinkedIn, usually around those elements, and how to help people leverage, understand, to achieve profitable growth using those channels. In a nutshell, that's that.
Fantastic, thanks for that. So, and with that, how would you describe your ideal customer, your best customer, or profile of a customer? What would that be for you?
All right. So for us, I have one in mind, which of course will mention the name, but for me, it's someone who has good potential of business, and many people are, meaning the business is already, or what the idea they have is good. They're passionate, they're hardworking, and they're ambitious. So they want to achieve something. If you don't have that, it's probably tough. The other thing is, again, you might have all of that. Are you open to change? Many people say, yeah, I should do something digitally. I know I should, a better website. I know I should be more on LinkedIn, but I don't. But if they're not willing to make a change, as you know very well, in Action Coach, there's no way to help someone who doesn't want to do that change. But if they are willing, then we'll do whatever it takes to train them. And when we even provide training and speaking and take them step by step to understand those elements. So the ideal customer for me is someone who's open to that, to say, and that person have in mind said, Hidai, I need help. I don't get that. You do. Come and help us. Let's talk to the team. This person, that person. Work with us. Help us. We work together with you, and they trust you. I think trust is a big factor. They're really open, and I tell them, the more you tell me, the more I can help. The more you tell me your business goals, your struggles, who's in the team is this and that. What would you struggle with? I can come in and try to help you in that sense. So for me, it's about trust, openness, listening, still take responsibility. I always tell them, it's your business. I'm only an advisor, consultant, mentor, whatever you want to call it. It's your business. But if you work closely together, I think then sky's the limit, and that's where magic happens in that sense.
Fantastic. That's great. And so, are there, were there any business changes that you considered, that COVID-19 made necessary for you, and were there any changes you made from before COVID, sort of thing?
So I think luckily we were a digital consultancy. So we always did Zoom calls before it was cool, as I like to say. We always been digital, and we use those tools all the time. So in a way, the clients changed their perception, because some people, we told them, Zoom video call, come to the office. There's no other option. And that changed dramatically, of course, because of COVID. So in a way, clients adapted to us. One thing that we didn't foresee is where we did speaking and training. We always thought face-to-face. You go, you travel to London or whatever you needed, or in Ireland, and you speak. Zoom came there and changed the game dramatically. You can talk to anyone all over the world, and you just open Zoom, close Zoom, and you're done. You don't need to travel, you don't need to park. It's much easier, actually. Also, the cost and effectiveness are better. That's something we had to adapt to, and we actually enjoyed quite a lot. Many people like Zoom. They don't need to, again, hassles of traveling. They might not be able to actually do that if it's not on Zoom. That's something which we learn to adapt and actually master in a way, learn how to do Zoom in an engaging way and get people to really understand that. And it's actually happy it happened in that sense. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. So again, just leading on from that, I mean, what will the changes that you made during COVID, that you've taken for the pandemic, will some of that remain or be part of your business, or how do you see that going forward?
Yeah. So again, I thought about the same thing. This will actually remain. COVID is now kind of slightly over. I mean, you can meet people, events are coming back, And while I do join conferences and talk about speaking in those places, many things will remain on Zoom. Many people see the benefit of that, especially again, if you work globally or even across the island, driving 3 hours to call from Dublin. Do you really need to do that? It's always a question now. And the price might be different or the value will be different. And many also enjoy the recording, like you record me now. You don't really record yourself as you go. It's going to be a whole mess of getting a crew. So there's a lot of benefits and those remain. So I think there's options now. People say, you want me to come there? Great. That's what it means. You want me to do it on Zoom? That's what it means. And I like options. They're always good and people pick depending on what situation is like. So that's what remain. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing I heard from another client, of course, which is obvious when you're told, all the talk about sustainability. Well, if you're cutting down on travel and blowing carbon dioxide into the air and God knows what else, that this is more sustainable. Actually, one of my clients is talking about they have an ISO for sustainability. And this is part of it, that are you jumping out into a car every time a client calls, or do you say, well, no, actually we can sort this online, or we can can take over and stuff, which I thought it was obvious when I was told, but I hadn't thought. So that whole thing. So what's your biggest learning? I mean, you kind of obviously your wife Orly was in business all her life, sort of thing, but what was your biggest learning when you went into business as opposed to working for corporates and things like that? So what would you say is your biggest learning?
Yeah, so for me, again, all this relocation and good stuff and good salary was nice. The thing that got me to think to make the change was I want to work with more businesses, not only one company at a time, and dedicate my whole time and energy to a group of people that I see every day. It's time for me to go on my own and explore a lot more with so many different people and learn from them and provide them something else. The biggest learning for me was one that you learn a lot more, like exponentially. I was open to a whole world, and you need to learn at least a little bit about anything. As a business owner, you need to do or know or get someone to do for you, with you, any element of business, from accounting to marketing to operations and sales. All of it needs to be done by someone, and you need to be in charge of it. So how much I exponentially learned and still learning. You told me before, everyone you talk to, you learn. I agree with that. You learn all the time. I like it. It can be tiring. Like you said, oh my God, that's it. I cannot take it anymore. But it's also very, very stimulating, very, very energizing in a way. That was one thing. Another thing was money works very differently as a business owner. When you're employed, salary, that's it. No more, no less. It's there until you don't have a job. It's very clear. It's very simple. As a business owner, there's so many ways to think about money. There's cash flow and strategic and investments and pension. If you have a limited company, you move money as a salary and employees. Money behaves very differently. It took me a lot of time. I think I'm still learning some elements of it. The way money behaves is a totally different discussion and way conceptually than being an employee. That was a big learning for me, to understand that and use that. Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Okay, and what do you find most inspiring today? What's the most inspiring thing for you?
For me, it's about those people, those great customers, willing to make the change, willing to listen, trusting you, something very dear to them, their baby, their business, their pension in many cases. That's all they got. They tell you that. And that go with you on a journey for a few good years, and you become your trusted, I'm not saying a friend, it's not really a friendship, it's something else, but it's something which I value even more than friendship in some cases. It's really a trusted person they can talk to, and maybe there's no one else they can talk to about those elements.
Absolutely.
And then when they do that, and together you achieve success to themselves, their life, their teams, and they empower their team members to also make another step. That's inspiring, because again, times are tough. COVID is still here. Recession, no recession, whatever you want, is not easy. Russia, Ukraine, life is not easy and probably will never be. It's never an easy time to be a business owner. But those people who succeed and through all of that, find a way, get you in, let you be part of their life. I find it very, very powerful, very inspiring. And people working together, for me, it's also a bit of good in the world, which is worth fighting for, I believe. And that's nice. And I take a lot of good points and think about that when in the tough moments when it's not easy. Those moments and those people kind of get you going day in, day out. Yeah.
Fantastic, Hidai. And I suppose just wrapping up a bit, and any offers you want to include in the newsletter, or any message you want to put out in the newsletter or in our newsletter? Yeah,
what I would like to offer again to anyone who wants to have a chat, an hour, completely no commitment, no strings attached, reach out to me by email or by LinkedIn, and just talk about anything at all. You can share anything in advance. We'll have a chat and honestly, respectfully tell you anything you want to look about, digital or anything else. website, LinkedIn, Facebook, Google. Someone told you to do that. Someone told you to be on TikTok. I don't know why. All this kind of stuff that you might have heard. Happy to address all of it and give you my honest opinion. And then you take it to do whatever you want with that. That's an offer I'm happy to extend to anyone in that forum. Yeah.